could have given up, but you didn't. You could have stopped believing, but you didn't. You could have kept living their expectations, but you decided to make this life your own. And in turn, you're here. Hello everyone, today we're meeting Judith Costa. She is an unconditional love coach, a writer, a speaker, a seminar leader. Hello Judith, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Anna. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So let's start a conversation by diving into your journey of becoming the person you are today. What led you to discover your true passion in life? How did it start for you?
Well, it started with challenges in life and problems that I couldn't solve, and a sensation that my life was not working, and nothing was really the way I wanted. And I didn't really know what I wanted. And then I started having problems of health, problems in my marriage. I didn't like my job, but the funny thing is from the outside, everybody thought that I had the perfect life. I mean, a great home, a wonderful husband, a nice job, well paid. And I really had to figure out what was the problem. And I'm not the kind of person that likes to go just through therapy, sit in a chair or in a sofa and tell another person. I like to coach myself, to do research and to arrive to the root cause. And life put me in a corner, in a spot where I couldn't continue being and acting the same way.
Yeah. So along the way, you kind of like looked into what is the cause of, that type of unfulfillment that you had in your life, right? Even though on the outside, everything looked perfect. And a lot of people could relate to this. We all think, if we just play that role, if we put on a mask and everything will be fine. But there's something deeper inside of us that need that type of reconnection, I would say. Don't you think?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, you can go against yourself, but it's not going to work in the long term. Your soul is going to tell you. And for me, it was just a sense of depression and unfulfillment that you say. And what I discovered, I didn't have a name at that moment. Nowadays, I teach self-love. But what I discovered is that there were certain things that I was doing that were not beneficial for me, that I didn't love myself, really. I was very good at abandoning myself in relationships and people pleasing. I was assertive, but I didn't go after my dreams. I think that I had to go through some challenges at that moment in my life to really become the person that I am right now and being able to help others, because I have gone through the process. I have learned what does it mean to become confident, to find your worth, to find your connection with something bigger than you that you can trust, to really make yourself a priority in your life, to not only take care of yourself, like to make it the most important thing that you can do. And we tend to betray ourselves like tons of times per day. It's not only about knowing what loving yourself means, it's about practicing it. Love is not a feeling, it's not a concept or a philosophy. It's an action. It has to be demonstrated into action. Then if we have to love ourselves, we have sometimes to abandon relationships, to change the behavior, to change maybe your job, to really align with your values. And if you don't know which ones you have, then to find them. And then your life starts shifting. And that's the reason why at the end I moved to the US and I become a coach. I was doing these things for fun because I like to learn, and I already had a master in psychology and psychotherapy, but I was an astrologer, I did Reiki, and I continue finding tools and resources to help myself to really find out who I was, what is my essence, what I'm doing here, what is my purpose, what do I want to do with the rest of my life.
Definitely. And a lot of people lost in doing their daily tasks. Like you said, you a lot of times prioritize something like pleasing other people or achieving something in life. And you think that will bring you some kind of validation. And this is not what really fulfills you. And without you making yourself a priority, your mental, your physical health, really schedule in your daily practice as if it's the only thing that matters. And that's a lot of times people struggle with because they don't see themselves worthy of having something in life that they want, that they desire. And I think in order for us to cultivate that feeling, it has to be, practiced on a daily basis. And if you can share with us any type of tools of practice that help you to come to this point of realizing that this is how it's supposed to feel like, so people know what is it that they are looking for.
Yeah, let me say that we have a problem because we schedule life in I have to do everything that it's my responsibility, that it's important. And then if I have some extra time, then I will devote it to myself. And the problem is that I think that everybody will say that we lack of time, we live busy lives, and we run from one place to another. But again, in the long term, it can cause emotional or physical problems, and for sure a disconnection at a spiritual level. Mm-hmm. Then you have to add into your daily routine something that makes you balance, align, that allows you to come back home to this place that it's inside of yourself. It's not a physical place where you can rest, renew, regenerate, reconnect, let go of whatever is happening around yourself, because if not, we accumulate until we are in a crisis. Mm-hmm. Then first recommendation, learn to let go. Learn to release in the moment when something happens. Learn to forgive, but don't wait until time has passed. Mm-hmm. There are different ways. You can use Ho'oponopono. I work with the Akashic Records. We have methods of letting go, but letting go is not something that is complicated. It's just a conscious decision. Like I had an argument with someone and I'm still upset. It's up to me how much time I will continue being upset. Mm-hmm. We think that because this is so big, then we have to carry the pain and disappointment of the argument with us for a long time. But maybe what you have to do is to pause, to take some time to go inside and say, okay, what do I want to do with this? Where I'm going to put this? What I'm feeling? Where in my body I'm feeling it? Maybe we need journaling. Maybe we need to go for a walk for 10 minutes and take some fresh air. Maybe we have to concentrate on letting go of the thoughts and connecting with some inner space where we can feel the peace. Mm-hmm. Then paying attention to yourself, being mindful is the most important. We tend to disconnect from our body. We don't want to feel our emotions because I'm working. Now it's not the time to do that. Mm-hmm. Then if it's not the time, when is going to be the time? Better 5 minutes of pause that the whole day being there, doing something and feeling bad about yourself or about what you experience or worried, or then when we pay attention to ourselves, when we love ourselves, we tend to choose different relationships and different situations. We behave differently. And this is not being selfish. This is really being sure that if you are there for you, you are going to be able to be there for others. Others may mean in your job, if you're a leader, your employees, the people that you are a leader, the clients that you serve, mm-hmm. Your family, your loved one, someone that is having a problem. Then if you cannot hold the space for others, it's because you are not there for you first. You have your suitcase of all of these things that you have not let go, that you carry with you full. And the
Right.
first thing that you need to do is to stop and say, okay, what do I put here? What I have been accumulating and what I can release right now in order to be better, to feel better, to feel lighter and freer.
Yes, and I think it's challenging for a lot of people to really pause and give themselves time in that present moment to be mindful of how am I feeling right now, and maybe ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And give yourself time to process that emotion, let it like really sit with it, sit and release and feel it. And we tend to avoid feeling, or try to kind of like distract ourselves from feeling, because in a way we afraid of feeling. We think it's painful, we think it's scary, we come up with the different stories why we wouldn't feel, and subconsciously we're trying to focus on something to distract ourselves. But really it is, if we can just have that courage, to face that emotion, to sit with it, and we can see for ourselves that it's not going to take long until we feel better. Is that right?
Yeah, totally right. And you know that emotions are energy in motion, and the only thing that they're trying to do is to give you a message. When you don't listen, it's like having someone that is knocking on your door and that you say, okay, if I don't open the door, it's going to leave. But no, this person knocks and knocks and knocks until you open the door. Then it's the emotion is going to be there asking for your attention until you say, okay, I'm here. What do you want to tell me? Then emotions are not good or bad. They just are. And without emotions, we will be dead. Because if you don't have fear, you won't know that you have to run away from some danger. If you don't have sadness, then you won't know that something is upsetting you. We will be like robots. We need to experience certain things in order to just take the message, but the emotion is not designed to be stuck in your body. It passes through you. It goes fast. It leaves some chemicals in your body. You have certain sensations to make it bigger and that you get the message. But if you allow it to be processed, the same way it enters, it leaves you. It can take more or less, depending on what is the cause of the emotion. But the idea is that we can learn to do this. Unfortunately, we are not trained. We don't learn this in a school or university, nowadays, kids, thanks God, have more resources. I hope that one day, this is the most important things that our parents, because they know these things, are going to tell us how to deal with our emotions, how to be mindful, how to express what we feel, what to do with all this information. And we wait until the crisis. And then we go to a therapist, a coach, whatever it is, a psychiatrist, whatever it's your choice. Then make these practices part of your daily routine when things are going well. Right. Find these spaces for yourself. Loving yourself is not only taking care, it's also adding things that are pleasurable for you, cultivating these positive emotions, the gratitude, the appreciation, the love. All of these raise your vibration, your level of consciousness, whatever it is, makes you happier.
Yeah.
Then what are you going to do today as an act of self-love that you didn't do yesterday? And you don't need tons of time. It can take you 2 minutes. Maybe it's to breathe. Maybe it's to let go before I go to bed. Maybe it's a body relaxation. Maybe it's to do something for fun. Maybe it's to ask for help. Maybe it's to stop being hard on yourself and stop judging and criticizing yourself all the day.
Right. And I think that criticizing ourselves is very common nowadays, and we don't really, we're not aware of being stuck in that negative thinking pattern. And we need to become mindful first, like you mentioned, in order to really disrupt it and see for what it is. And ask ourselves question, is that really true what I'm keep repeating to myself? Is that true? Or maybe it served me at some point, but now it's time to let it go, right? And not only that, but also focusing on feeling good, right? Like what would bring me the good feeling today? Either gratitude or maybe act of forgiveness too, right? Sometimes we keep that negative emotion stuck inside of us as part of, I don't know, maybe some kind of trauma or arguments that we had. And again, that's also affecting our health, not just mental and physical health, right? And we need to find a way to forgive other people as well. And it's not just for them, it's for you because it's affecting you. I think a lot of people don't understand that you're not doing it for somebody else, but mostly you're doing it as an act of self-love. You want to bring yourself to the place where you feel good. This is one of the practices that will help you to do that, right? And
Yeah.
eventually over time, you will see that it's just becomes like easier for you to do it. Next time it happens, you wouldn't be able to, kind of like hold on to that feeling anymore. It would just pass. It was just pass. And it's kind of becomes second nature is how you operate.
Yeah, one of the things that we don't learn for sure is self-forgiveness. And it's one of the most important aspects of this big self-love content that we are talking about, because there is a general idea that in order to improve your life, you have to be hard on yourself. A lot of people will explain you this. Oh, if I relax, then I'm not going to accomplish my goals. I'm not going to do that. And I am very analytical. I am, in my chart, if I'm an astrologer, if you see, I'm all mental, all air. And this is good, and this is not as good sometimes, because we tend to overanalyze things. And what happens is that you see that things can be different, and then you start judging yourself for every movement that you do. And what happens is this is not the best way to live your life. If you are not in a state of flow where you can just surrender to life and allow things to come to you and focus on what matters and trust the universe that will help you to arrive where you want to go, then you live in a universe where you have to control life. And that's impossible because life doesn't allow you to control anything. And in order to be happy, what you do is to look at all the possibilities, different scenarios, and a lot of people live this way. I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me years to really transform my life. But if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm sure that maybe you're smarter and you can do it faster than I did. Mm-hmm. And when you really understand that there are no mistakes in life, just decisions that you made with the information that you had at that moment in time, you feel free to just take action without thinking that, what if I make a mistake? No, what if there are no mistakes? There's just life. You're here to live your life. And you do the best you can. And you can learn and continue making decisions. Different decisions if you feel like you have to change or to turn whatever it is. Then is when you really stop criticizing yourself at the same time that you build a sense of acceptance and appreciation. You cannot love something that you don't know. Then it's important to go inside of yourself. But a lot of people doesn't want to do it because they feel they are going to find something that is not nice. I'm not a good person, or I don't have what it takes, or I'm not good enough. And if you see inside of yourself, you're going to find the most beautiful thing, that is your essence. And you're perfect in essence. And whatever you are doing as a human being is an experience. It's a play that me as Judith, I'm experiencing in this incarnation. But that's it. You are a beautiful, amazing, unique. And if someone today doesn't tell you, then tell it to yourself. You're special. And without you, the world would be different. You're so important. So important is your existence. that without you, with your impact, without your presence, the universe will not work at the same level. And we need you, but the real you, the one that you are maybe not showing us.
Mhm. I think with us, find our authentic nature could be the best thing we could do as a service for others, you know, to contribute in a way that we were meant to be, right? We're here for a reason. Maybe we don't know that reason yet, but we should know that there are no mistakes, right, in this universe. So if you exist, if you are here, if you are present, you have a lot to contribute to every one of us, including yourself. So why don't you just be yourself? Like, why are you trying to kind of like pretend to be somebody else and not giving yourself the gift of the present moment of the experience and everything that life is giving you, right? So if we just shift that perspective and find that self love and acceptance, and really seeing our self-worth as if we are very important here, then I think we could really start living our life differently and and experience different quality of life.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why this happens is because we are born with the desire to be accepted, to be seen, to be loved, to belong. And since we are very small, we start looking for love. When we are born, if you look at a baby, it has an unconditional love for herself or himself. Like, I am the center of the universe, you take care of me, and I'm here to be happy. And unless they have a problem, like they need to be changed, or they are hungry, or they are sleepy, usually they are happy beings. Kids at young age are, but then we socialize them, and it's not only the culture or the indoctrination or the culture where you live, it's that we have storage, this unconscious part of our mind, where there are a lot of patterns. And from 0 to 7, everything that we receive, we cannot filter this information. It becomes the truth. It becomes part of our programming. And for those that believe in that, I'm a past life therapist, then we also carry memories from our ancestors. We have our genetic influences. We have a lot of things that we are not aware. We consciously don't understand that we are not just what we think. There are a lot of information, a lot of unconscious patterns of thought and behavior that get activated. And what happens is that we start believing at a certain point that in order to be loved, we have to change. We have to please others. We have to be the way others want us to be. And we stop being ourselves in order to receive the love that we want. And we forget that we are the source of this love, that we are the creators of the love. But because we are the source, when we have a lot, we can share it with others. But if you forget that you have this source, then you go around asking everybody, can you please love me? Can you love me more? And we become these beggars for love, and we do whatever is necessary to receive this love, even to stop being who we are authentically. Because we receive messages that if you continue doing this, I'm not going to love you. Or if you don't stop asking for this, I'm not going to love you.
Yeah.
And there is a moment where this becomes unconscious. We forgot these messages that happened maybe when we were 6 or 9 or 12-year-old. We all have disappointments. We all have our wounds in terms of our relationships and our ideas about love. But the reason why we stop being ourselves is because we believe that we are not like good enough to be ourselves. But I I teach self-love in workshops, in private sessions, and I open the Akashic Records, and I have seen it again and again and again. When at a soul level, we chose to come to this incarnation and we surround ourselves by people that don't love ourselves, because we are the ones that have to build this from scratch. We are the ones that have to find the value inside of ourselves. And it's not a mistake. Maybe it's not what you want, or you prefer like a loving family and a great husband or wife that supports you at every level, and children that loves you unconditionally, and the best friends ever. And sometimes what you receive is a dysfunctional family and abandonment in your relationships, or betrayal, or whatever it is. But that's what puts you in the path to decide that you have to change and you have to start loving yourself no matter what. And it comes sooner or later, the realization, but there is a moment when we all say, okay, no more of this. I have to do something for myself.
Yeah, I believe like this shift is happening when you say it's enough. It's enough of being betrayal to myself, to keep abandoning myself, to keeping myself in a place where I allow other people to treat me this way. It's not who I am.
Yeah, exactly. And this is when we learn how to set up boundaries, and we start finding our voice and expressing our desires and our needs. And maybe we got divorced, or we start telling others that I'm not going to accept this. And we put ourselves first. We become our best friend. And then it's when your life gets transformed. We spend, or at least I'm going to speak in like first person. I spent a lot of years in my life waiting for others to change, thinking that if my external situation will be different, I will be happier, until you realize that it's not about changing the external. It's about going inside of yourself and saying, okay, what do I need? What can I do differently? And how can I love myself every day more and more? And this is what attracts different relationships and brings different opportunities into your life. Because for those that want to manifest, let me tell you that love is the highest vibration that exists. The more love you have, the highest is your vibration. And the highest is your vibration, the more in tune you are with the universe, and the easier is to manifest all that you want and that you feel that you deserve. Then self-love is the solution for everything. I used to give a lecture when I was in New York, and before the pandemic, I traveled a lot. And my business model was to give a free lecture when I arrived to the town. And I had one that was loving yourself is the solution. And I challenged the people that were there sitting in the chair, like, tell me one problem that you have and I will resolve it in terms of self-love. Because it will change the way you organize your life. It will help you improve your health. It will help you to manifest your desires, to find the love that you want in your life, friendship or a partner for life. Then it's a very powerful thing to focus on.
And we don't really realize that the solution to all our problems is inside of us, right where we are. And we keep looking somewhere to find that magical thing that will solve all the problems. But really, if we just give ourselves this time to see what it is that we are here to bring to others and reconnect to our authentic nature, then we will find the answer. And I think that's the most precious thing that you can have, and to give yourself as a gift of love and life here right now. But again, for people, it will take different amount of time to come to this realization. because every one of us is on our own journey, on our own path of discovering or remembering, I would say mostly, of who we
Yes.
are and what is our essence, because it's mostly love and light and joy. And if we can only let ourselves to feel that, to really like put it as a priority, to keep feeling good and finding that place, then like you said, everything that we want to manifest or attract in our life, it's just gonna come in naturally in our experience, and we don't need to chase it, right? So it's kind of like backwards from what most people think.
Yeah, because we are trained in the doing. You want something, go after it. No, you
Yeah.
want something, is focus on it, put the intention on it, and see what is holding you back and why this thing is not in your life. And I'm an expert of helping you figure out what blocks are in the road that will connect you with what you want. It might be agreements, soul contracts, things that are unconscious patterns, as we said, thought or behavior. It might be that you have not forgiven yourself or others, and it keeps you stuck. It must be, usually it's not a lack of knowledge on how to, because you can go to Google and find resources nowadays. That's not the problem. The problem is like, when we don't love ourselves enough, we are sabotaging our life. And usually it bothers a lot when you really want to do something and you are not capable of, and you try harder and harder and harder and nothing happens. Then this is the normal way to proceed for people. Like, oh, I didn't succeed. Then let me try in a different way. Let me try harder. Let me try with someone else. Maybe we hire a professional, but if you don't go inside and see what is the way or ways in what you are sabotaging your efforts, you will end up in the same route. This is why people say, okay, someone wins the lottery, but if you don't change your mindset about money, then you end up in bankruptcy again. That's why then good things happen to us, but only when we believe that we can have these experiences, when we feel that we deserve that. Then if you ask and ask, the universe is not going to listen at what you say. It's going to listen at what you feel inside of yourself. You can ask for 1 million, but if you feel that you can only receive 2,000, then you will get 2,000. I say, yeah, but I asked for 1 million. Yeah, but do you feel like a million person? Maybe not. Then it's easier, instead of keep asking, just go inside and say, okay, why do I don't feel like I can receive 1 million? What are the thoughts, the beliefs, the things that I have stored, my experiences? And I have several tools to do that. That's the reason why I studied from astrology as a way of really learning more about yourself, or the Akashic Records, that it's like tapping into the soul journey, like who you are at the soul level. And it's very funny because every session I do with these beings that we call masters of the Akashic Records, but they are pure energy of unconditional love, they don't judge us. The pressure that we put for achieving things is self-pressure. Nobody is there in the heavens thinking, oh, you have to be better today, Judith. No, it's us trying to fix our lives, trying to improve our lives, trying to get more, to be better, to do more. Then maybe we need to relax and be more, be here, be in the moment, and enjoy what we have, and value this wonderful universe that where we live, instead of trying to like go crazy around, like thinking on what can I do to have more today, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And I think with us accepting that we're the ones standing, on our way to happiness, to everything that we desire, it's a very harsh realization, and not everybody are willing to accept that, to know that we are the ones on the way to it. And the only way to kind of resolve that is to look inside. And, people need to be ready to turn inwards, to learn more about themselves, to establish a better relationship with ourselves first in order to see changes outside. So that's very profound shift, I feel. But again, like, you have to come to that point where you really believe that this is what you're gonna prioritize. It's not just somebody's telling you. You have to know it first, so you have to believe in that, right? And like you said, eventually, if you want to become a different person, having a different experiences, you have to start feeling this way as if you're already that person. But first you need to believe that you are, because you are.
Mhm. Exactly. And we get stuck in life and we get angry with ourselves and we get mad and we think that something is wrong and I'm unlucky and all of this. And there is a different perspective about all of this. Like everything that is coming your way is an opportunity. And we have, nowadays we know, neuroscientists have shown us that our brain can learn and change. It's plastic. Then don't tell me any excuse about your age, your race, your level of comfort when you were a kid. There is this moment today, whenever you are listening to the podcast or watching, this is the moment. Your life starts with every breath you take. Then if you want a fresh beginning, don't wait for someone to give you permission. Give it to yourself. And slowly start doing things. Start establishing this relationship with yourself that we are talking about, that will allow you to conquer the world, to create the reality you want to live in. That instead of really, we get stuck and we complain and we are unhappy, and me too. I have done it very well. I got depressed because I didn't like my reality. Then I'm not judging anyone, but I'm just saying that when you learn all of these things, you understand that you are free, that you are not a victim of the circumstances, and that there is a totally different way of living, that it's available for anyone that chooses this. And we are not here to take responsibility for how the world is going. We can contribute by being the light that we want to see in this world, the happiness and the love. Then what you bring to the table matters. You being happier today affects everyone. Not everyone you are in touch with, everyone in the planet. Then see how important it is that you love yourself just an inch more today. Just a little bit. Because imagine if this is you, if every one of us will do this, in what world we will be living? It will be a different place, no?
Yes, definitely. And I wish everybody could really start feeling a little bit better today and give themselves more time to self-care, for self-love, any act of kindness that they can bring in. They should know that they matter, that they are important, and their contribution is valuable. And it doesn't matter that it's just one person. Again, like with you being one and every one of us collectively together, we can create that ripple effect that will eventually bring us to a different place of the way that we're living right now in this present time. Even right now, it will shift something, right? And not talking about the future. And this is how we start. We shouldn't focus on just how we are being one and alone here, but we are part of something bigger, right? And knowing that you are part of something bigger and you have a lot to contribute, and starting with yourself should be enough. And not only you're going to give yourself a better quality of life and experiences and relationship, but with you willing to go in and really like bring out every gift that you have given to others, it will really create a different kind of life that we all live in. So it's more than that. And I'm so thankful for our conversation today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and wisdom. And for those who would like to connect with you online, how can they find you?
They can go to my website, judithmcosta.com, and go to the contact page and call me. The phone number is there. Send me an email, and we will have a conversation, like a discovery session if you want. Of course, they can find me also in social media. The links are also in the footer of the website, and all of the services that I offer are there. Then whatever you want, whatever you need, if there is any way I can help you, I will be thrilled to do it. And let me tell you something before we end the conversation. If there is something that is valuable in this conversation, please apply it, but don't wait until tomorrow. Just do one thing, one little act of kindness, as Anna was saying. When you want to transform your life, don't forget to do it with compassion, with understanding, and with patience towards yourself. Then just stop being hard on you. Give yourself a break. Add more love into your life, please. Just that.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your day.
You too. Lots of love to you and to everyone.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, hit the subscribe button and share it with others. Stay tuned.